Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert Cabot, the fantasy football counselor. In this episode, we are talking about the top 10 boom players. Yes, players that are primed to have a massive season and have that top 5 potential. Yes, absolutely boom, absolutely crush this year, absolutely going to get the volume, absolutely going to get the targets. Top 10 boom potential players going into 2021 fantasy football. Big episode. Before we do, guys, head on over to manscaped.com. Use promo code SHOWERLION. Save yourself 20%. Father's Day is around the corner. I think it's here already. It's so close. I can smell it. I can taste it. And you guys are going to love this. Manscaped.com. Shave around the sensitive areas without worrying about nicks and cuts. Amazing products. I got the Lawnmower 4.0 behind me. Got the Lawnmower 3.0 in my hand. Navigational light. Skin safe. I can't even talk anymore. I'm so excited. Skin safe technology, guys. Manscaped.com. Use promo code SHOWERLION and get that 16-round draft solution at thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. This is going to help you guys crush your league. Scrap the draft kits, scrap the cheat sheets. This is the game changer. No more outdated consensus rankings, magazines, and all that garbage. Draft kits are dead. This is the draft solution because I'm here to help you guys solve the solution to make you guys dominate your leagues. The solution is you want to win. That's what you want to do. That is what we want to have as the ultimate outcome. Championship, and 16 rounds is going to get you there. thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. Now let's get to this episode. Top 10 boom players for fantasy football 2021. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Top 10 boom players. Going to dive right into it. I want to know from you guys, though, it's very important to me. It's very important to my feelings and my soul that you guys dive into the comments. I want to hear your comments below. Who is a boom player for you? I really want to hear it in the comments below, and it takes 2 seconds of your time as well to do that, and smash the thumbs up button. So I'll take a moment here to chill out while you guys hit the smash button, all right? Thank you. All right, I appreciate it. That's how quick it was, all right? So I appreciate that. And one more thing, guys, if you guys want to get into a best ball league, we've opened up an extra 100 spots to get in. Should be gone pretty fast. Fantrax.com/FFC. By the way, this is where you guys should be hosting your leagues. I'm telling you guys, if you want that 2 quarterback league, if you want tight ends to get more value, if you want more customization in your leagues, fantrax.com/FFC for fantasy football counselor. Create your league there, guys, for your year long. And of course, if you guys want the best ball league, fantrax.com/FFC. DM me on Instagram. I'm in, and I'll send you the best ball league link. Okay, so let's dive into this. Top 10 boom players. Now, a little disclaimer. I actually did with Tim the Ball Guy. We did top 5, or just did 5 boom wide receivers, 5 boom running backs. But I wanted to make a compilation here with all of them together. Throw in some tight ends, throw in a couple quarterbacks here, and talk about why these guys are potentially the top 10 boom players. Now, there's other players that are going to boom. There's no doubt about it. And there's a chance that these guys could bust. But what I'm saying is these guys could absolutely boom and have a lot of upside. So what is a boom player? A boom player is a guy that could finish top 5. Let's make it that simple. A guy that could finish maybe even, let's say even top 10. A guy that is, hasn't performed lately, maybe due to injury, or hasn't really shined yet, has shown sparks that he could shine, but hasn't really boomed yet. For example, Derrick Henry a couple years ago, I can't remember what year it was. I'm losing track of years. It's going so fast. I think it was the end of 2018 or whatever. He was about to boom, and he showed those signs near the end of the season. David Johnson did this back in 2015, then boomed the 2016 season. So it's guys that are coming off, showing signs that they could shine, or rookies that are coming in, going into the opportunity to succeed. So just the opportunity, the ceiling is high for these players. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And some of these guys will say, well, Joe, Captain Obvious, they're already ranked like top 5, top 10 already. Like, why are they booming? Well, I'm saying that they could boom ahead of the guys above them, right? So for example, the first guy, Saquon Barkley, right? The ceiling is high. He's ranked 4th on the consensus rankings, but this guy could boom and have like a record year and beat his 2018 year of 385 fantasy points. Does that make sense? So boom players, let's dive into it. Top 10. Again, there's more But these are the guys that stuck out to me jumped out at me, like really screaming my name. Joe, draft me. I'm good value, or I could really boom, okay? First guy, again, Saquon Barkley. Let's talk about him. Finally, and I got to say this, finally is his offense in a position to really succeed. Daniel Jones finally getting into the groove now. Hopefully settled into that offense. They finally got receivers. They drafted Kadarius Toney. I think they're going to use him. Hopefully Sterling Shepard is back, healthy, safe. I'm not really a guy that trusts him, but they brought in a true wide receiver one in Kenny Galladay. This is exciting. This is exciting for Saquon Barkley. This is exciting for the future of the Giants. They've made some improvements on the O-line. This is finally a year the New York Giants could really shine. Saquon Barkley healthy now, knock on wood. Now, they are saying that they're going to ease him into the season, so maybe the first couple games they're going to give the ball to a couple scrubs on that team like Devontae Booker, whoever's on that team. I don't even know who the backup is, and that's a good thing to know. If you don't know who the backup is, or if the backup absolutely sucks, I mean, you know who the backup is, but they're not really going to be a threat. Like who's going to be a threat here? Raquel Armstead, Deion Lewis? Like, we don't even know. Like, all we know is that Saquon's the guy, and if he's in that type of situation alone, he's going to thrive. So we've got an offense now, again, where they've got wide receivers. The offense is good. Daniel Jones settled. And Saquon Barkley, yes, coming off injury, is primed to shine. And hopefully we see those numbers out of him. So again, boom type of potential season. The volume, the opportunity, and he's going to get all of the workload. There's no one else there. Now, again, it could be a slow start to kind of ease him in coming off that injury, but he should be good to go. He's had tons of time to heal. He had the entire NFL season last year because the injury happened early in the season, which kind of sucked for last season, but it's good for this season. Had it happen in week 16, we might not see Saquon Barkley, starting strong this season. So he's had a ton of time to heal all offseason and all of the season last year. So I'm excited. The ceiling, the talent, the opportunity, the volume, everything is there for this guy to absolutely boom. And the reason, Joe Captain Obvious, he's going top 5 anyway. Yeah, but he could boom ahead of guys going ahead of him, ahead of like Dalvin Cook, ahead of CMC, and he could finish well ahead of those guys because I think the ceiling is higher. So Saquon Barkley is my first boom player. And again, these aren't in really any order, but they're just top 10 across the board, like the 10 that I like, but not in the order between these guys. So I'm not saying Saquon's better than the next guy. I'm just saying that these guys are 10 over the other guys in the league, okay? So top 10, but not in particular order for the top 10. Does that make sense? Hopefully you guys got it. And again, hopefully you guys have commented below who your boom player is. I'd love to hear your feedback. Next guy here, and I'm probably not going to be investing in this guy because I'm not paying that high of a price for a wide receiver. But again, depends on how I feel that day, that day of the week, that day of the draft. Calvin Ridley. Now, Calvin Ridley, oh man, I mean, I think the ceiling is there. I had a show with the bald guy. He's disagreeing. He doesn't see him getting that much more volume due to Kyle Pitts there. Listen, I love Kyle Pitts. He's on this list as well. But I want to talk about Calvin Ridley real quickly here. Last year had a great year. A lot of that was predicated on Julio Jones being gone. So with Julio Jones being gone, that opened up a lot because Julio Jones back in 2019 had 157 targets, I believe. Now, Calvin Ridley had 143 targets last year, 90 receptions, 9 touchdowns, okay? That is with Julio Jones being gone. That's with Julio Jones pretty much missing the entire, well, not the entire season. He played 9 games, but that's a big chunk because that hindered him to 68 targets. Now, Russell Gage stepped in for the 72 receptions, 110 targets. So 110 targets went to Russell Gage, which makes him a sleeper for this season. But Calvin Ridley, 143 targets with Julio Jones not playing the full season. Now, again, you could say, well, Kyle Pitts comes in, gets another 100, 125 targets. Very possible, right? But I think Calvin Ridley's the main guy still. I think that the ceiling's there. I think it's going to be a primary focus of Matt Ryan. Simply just from a state of mind, from a wide receiver perspective, you have Matt Ryan focusing on Calvin Ridley. Again, the hindrance could be, though, more targets could potentially be there. But again, the problem with him could be that he could be seeing double coverage with Julio Jones not being there. Could be a problem, but then Kyle Pitts steps in. Either way, the thing that is so attractive about him is the fact that he is slated as the wide receiver 1, and Matt Ryan throws a lot. He threw it last year 626 times. Let me repeat that, 626 times. When you put that from an attempt standpoint, that makes him number 1 attempts amongst quarterbacks last season. Only one behind him was close, there was Tom Brady and Big Ben at 608, then Justin Herbert at 595. So Matt Ryan throws a lot. Now, understand also, Matt Ryan had a bit of a down year last year, finishing 12th amongst quarterbacks. Not typical of him. He was a little bit low on the touchdowns with 26, 11 interceptions. That should change as they made improvements on that offense. And I am excited about Matt Ryan, at the tail end of his career, coming in and actually hopefully lighting it up and finishing his career strong, hopefully wanting to win a Super Bowl here and leave a solid legacy. So Calvin Ridley has all the ceiling to boom. I'm probably not going to invest in him. Again, it's going to be too early for me, but the upside and ceiling is 100% there. A guy that you could target that could really, really boom, okay? Let's keep going through this. I'm going to keep giving my reasons why. Next guy here is Cam Akers. Now, I am over the moon excited about Cam Akers. I just got a message from my friend Trent. He runs a Rams page and a YouTube channel. Told me that in training, he's out there hustling, working on pass protection, which is really good. They're really focusing on making him a three-down workhorse back. That's the bottom line. Now, we heard McVay already state that he can be that. He's quoted that. Now, I don't trust coaches when it comes to fantasy football information or anything related to what they tell us, because we've seen coaches lie. We've seen Nagy lie. We've seen Arizona Cardinals lie with their coaching staff. I don't trust Kingsbury. I don't trust any of these guys, but I really trust the opportunity here with Cam Akers. We're talking about players coming off, a good end of last season and then maybe booming this season. So last year we saw 21 attempts in week 13, 29 attempts in week 14, 15 attempts in week 15, and 21 attempts in those weeks, in the last week 17. So in the last 4 weeks that Cam Akers played, he showed that he is a full workhorse running back, rushing at 171 yards in week 14. The other games, he didn't have any rushing touchdowns in week 14, 15, and 17, but he did have one in week 13. We didn't see enough touchdowns, but we saw the volume. I just wanted to see a hint. I wanted to see something to show me that he is a workhorse. And, that showed us. Now, again, not phenomenal numbers. We weren't like, oh my God, wowed, ton of touchdowns, but we saw a hint of it. I just wanted to see a hint. I wanted to get an idea that he can be a workhorse. We saw that, so there is some sort of proof. And then, we have all this proof from my friends say that he's working on Pass Pro. Then we heard the coach say that. We like the youth. There's the youth there. And again, he got a little banged up with rib injury at the beginning of the season. Another thing you want to also consider is that the running backs around him, Henderson, they suck, right? The guys around him suck. So he has an opportunity to succeed. So you got to look for clues. So volume, opportunity, talent, the people around him suck, and the fact that the Rams invested a 2020 second round pick in him, 52nd overall. All of these clues and what the coach says kind of piece it together to show that he is primed for a full season as a three-down workhorse running back. So he is currently sitting 10th on the consensus rankings. Am I going to invest in him? If I can get him at the end of the first round, I'm all over it. I'm securing an every down back, and that to me gives me peace of mind in the first round, okay? And again, I don't get that with Nick Chubb, considering he was outscored by Kareem Hunt 2 years in a row in PPR. I don't get that with Nick Chubb because he's sharing a backfield with Kareem Hunt, who is potentially a better running back, who, if you guys don't remember, was a rushing leader. But I get that with Cam Akers because I don't see another Kareem Hunt in the picture. I don't see another workhorse taking that volume away. So Cam Akers has that boom type of potential based on opportunity, okay? Next guy here, and I know Joe, Captain Obvious, not necessarily Captain Obvious, because this guy could finish as the #1 quarterback in fantasy football. The guy I'm talking about, number 4 here, is Justin Herbert. Why do I like him so much? Well, other than the fact that, he got the Rookie of the Year and all those accolades, and I get it. And you're like, well, again, Captain Obvious, Joe. But why I like him is, again, there's so many reasons. Number 1 is that he threw a lot. We talked about how many times he threw the ball. So he threw the ball 595 times. Very appealing. 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions in his rookie year. Didn't get really into his groove until weeks into the season, okay? 332 fantasy points. And the nice thing is that he had 55 rushing attempts and he had 5 touchdowns on the ground. When you look at it a rushing attempt point of view, it makes him number 11. Now, I don't like my quarterbacks rushing a lot. So I like rushing attempts, but I don't like them a lot. I like them peppered in. I don't like them like Lamar with 159 rushing attempts. Like, that is ludicrous. That is absolutely insane. 1,000 yards rushing. I don't like that because that puts my quarterback at a high risk of injury, and it also takes away from his passing opportunity. When you look at a guy like Lamar Jackson with 2,700 yards, and you look at a guy like Justin Herbert with 4,300 yards, I like more passing yards. When I see more passing yards, I see more yardage, then I see more touchdowns. And I like to see a lot of touchdowns, okay? But again, I like to see some peppered in attempts and some rushing touchdowns. And I think Justin Herbert is that perfect balance of throwing a lot and also rushing a lot. So I think this is a beautiful, perfect storm for Justin Herbert. And I don't have to pay a second-round pick. I can get this guy in and around rounds 4 to 6, which is a lot better value than people spent last year on Lamar Jackson. The second round, he busted, okay? So it's very important to look at the high ceiling and the upside and that boom potential. Now, you can say, Joe, he boomed last year. Well, not really, because he didn't finish top 5. And again, when I look at my quarterback, I want to see top 5 finish, okay? Justin Herbert finished 9th. And I think there's more opportunity to boom, putting him and pushing him ahead of guys like Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, and yes, even Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. So I think the ceiling is there. They drafted Josh Palmer. Palmer could be a good weapon as well. I just like the opportunity. They don't have a running game at all, so that means he's going to be throwing it a lot. Eckler is not a true workhorse running back, which means more passing opportunities. Even to Eckler, and I'm okay with that, even though I'm not an Eckler fan, but I just think they're going to be airing the ball out a lot, and I love the opportunity. Justin Herbert, boom potential, okay? Next guy here. Now, again, he's sitting 15th amongst quarterbacks on the consensus consensus rankings. And I got to talk about him, and I can't ignore him, is Trevor Lawrence. And I won't dive too much into this because it's a lot of speculation. Is the fact of the matter is he was in first overall pick. Okay, so the opportunity is there, the caliber is there, the talent is there, and he's going to come in and put on a show. And we saw, Kyler Murray do well in his rookie season. We see quarterbacks do well in their rookie season, but this guy is, promoted to be the real deal, and his college numbers are phenomenal. Go look it up. The guy was awesome, right? And he's in an opportunity where they have improved that offense. Don't sleep on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They brought in their comfort with ATN there. They have some decent wide receivers. I think the opportunities here, they've got a good running back at James Robinson. They've improved their O-line a little bit. They're going to protect Trevor Lawrence as much as they can. And for fantasy, I'm not saying draft this guy as your QB1. I always get an ace quarterback and back him up with an upside guy. And this guy could absolutely boom. And we saw this similarly with Pat Mahomes when the year he broke out. I had him as a backup in the 10th, 11th round. I got him, and then he had that boom year. So Trevor Lawrence could be that guy. Am I drafting him? Probably not, because I think there's better backups. I can still get myself a Russell Wilson or Justin Herbert and back him up with even like a Matt Ryan or Ryan Tannehill, which are a little more secure. But Trevor Lawrence could easily be absolutely phenomenal and be a top 5, top 10 quarterback, potentially. Yes. I mean, we don't know what to expect, and the uncertainty is exciting, okay? He could definitely surpass his average ADP and boom based on ADP, but we still don't know. Coming to number 6 here, another guy that's a bit of a sleeper here, wide receiver sleeper, fantasy football sleeper 2021, is DJ Chark. Now, Chark is currently sitting at 29th amongst the wide receiver rankings. Now, the thing about Chark that's so appealing is, of course, the quarterback, the uncertainty of the upside and the excitement there. Now, Chark last year had an okay season, nothing to get excited about, but he had a bunch of scrubs throwing him the ball. I think it was like Glennon and something like that, and Minshew. But you're looking at him this year, last year he had 93 targets, The year before, 118 targets, 1,000-yard receiver, and 8 touchdowns. Now, he's actually got a true quarterback throwing the ball, and the competition at wide receiver there is very slim. Laviska Shenault was okay and good, but he was more of a gadget type player coming out of college. And then you've got Marvin Jones. I'm not excited, but DJ Chark could be a guy that could really, really shine. Had a good last game. I think he had a touchdown. He had 4 receptions, 6 targets, nothing exciting, 62 yards. Last year had one game over 100 yards receiving, 146 a week 9. I mean, he did okay last season, but he didn't have that rapport with that quarterback. And I think him slated as you're getting a wide receiver 1 for immense value, right? The opportunity to boom is there, period. And you don't have to pay a lot. So I'm going to try to target Chark on my rosters for immense value after I go robust RB in the early rounds, okay? There's that boom potential. All right, 4 more guys here. 2 of them are wide receivers. One of them is a running back. and I've got a wide receiver here for you, okay? Now, make sure you guys do subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and if you want everything in one place, get that 16-round draft solution, okay? I had to give it another plug here. First ever and only video training. It's literally, it's like having me at the draft with you. Make sure you guys grab it, and you will dominate your leagues, okay? I assure you guys that, okay? I also do full mock drafts on there, walking you through how I would draft a team. It's laid out, lots of detail. Get it, okay? All right, so number 7. Now, I'm not one to get tight ends as part of my Sneaky 7. If you don't know what Sneaky 7 is, get the 16-round draft solution. I usually do not get a tight end in my Sneaky 7 when I'm drafting, but TJ Hockenson could fall into my Sneaky 7 formula in my top 5, top 6 picks. Now, Hockenson has shown us signs of injuries, but he's also shown us some upside. There is some uncertainty with him based on some injury, but what's so appealing here is the opportunity. And what I love about opportunities is volume. I love youth. I love talent. So I'm it's very appealing here. Okay, so they've got Brashard Perriman. Let me talk about this. They got Brashard Perriman slated as their wide receiver 1. I mean, they don't have any wide receivers. Jared Goff coming off a team where he had good wide receivers, above par wide receivers, now entering a situation where he's got no wide receivers. Now, we don't know that because they did draft Amon-Ra St. Brown. Look him up. Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver sleeper. But other than that, we don't know. Tyrell Williams is not good, okay? These guys, they got Amendola. Is he still on the team? Brashard Perriman, they don't have a good wide receiving core. So this is an opportunity for Hockenson to be a red zone target and be an outlet for Jared Goff coming in there looking for someone that he could trust to throw to. Hockenson could be that safety net for him and a guy that could get a ton of volume. Okay, that's really appealing to me. Now, again, you're saying, well, Joey's ranked 4 or 5 amongst tight end. This is not a surprise, and everybody's kind of saying this. I know, but what I'm saying is that he's a boom type of guy, and he's got that high ceiling for tight end, okay? So this is just a boom episode, guys. And again, a lot of people will draft a George Kittle a lot earlier. They'll draft a Travis Kelce a lot earlier. When I can get Hockenson a round or 2 or 3 after, I think that's appealing to me, and I might be intrigued to do that as soon as I can, just simply for the fact that, with tight ends, you're going to get your 3, 4, 5 tight ends, and then there's a significant drop-off, okay? So if you can anchor yourself a guy that could put up solid numbers, I mean, why not, right? Because there's a slew of depth at wide receiver, which I explained in the 16-round draft solution, but there's only a handful of really good tight ends, but you don't also want to overpay for a tight end by sacrificing, giving up, grabbing a solid running back early. So it's kind of it's finding that sweet spot. And I think TJ Hockenson could fall in that sweet spot after you've secured a running back or 2 and he's sitting there. It could be appealing. But again, boom or bust there for Hockenson, but the ceiling is high. Let's move on to another tight end here. Kyle Pitts, 6'6", 245 pounds. I don't need to elaborate on this too much. He's sitting on number 6 on the consensus rankings amongst tight ends in PPR. It's appealing. The upside is there. The boom potential is there. 159 freed up targets, 157 freed up targets based on the 2019 stats of Julio Jones, 1,400 receiving yards, and about 3 to 5 touchdowns because Julio Jones was not a big touchdown guy. Kyle Pitts could be with the height, the strength, the size. This guy can get off the line quick. He's a very tough matchup for linebackers and corners. And I'm telling you, Matt Ryan throws a lot. There's a reason they got rid of Julio Jones, okay? Obviously to free up some money. I mean, he was expensive, but what I'm saying is Kyle Pitts is very appealing because this guy acts as a wide receiver, can play a wide receiver position, and is just super intriguing to grab. So if I can get this guy and sneak him in after I've got my robust RBs, there's a slew of wide receivers I can get later. So many sleepers from Cortland Suttons of the Charks of the world, and there's so many guys. I mean, I would be comfortable going with Pitts, and I'm going to be getting a wide receiver 1 potentially out of him, and a boom potential, right? Absolute boom fantasy football player here, okay? Next guy here, number 9. Absolutely love this guy. Man crushing all over him. Want to get his jersey, his rookie card, and every piece of real estate I can own with this player. The guy I'm talking about is Najee Harris. Absolutely love this guy. I cannot explain to you the man crush I'm having on this guy. Now, in college, numbers look good last year. He had 251 attempts, 1,400 plus yards on the ground, 26 touchdowns, 43 receptions. So this guy can get it done in the receiving game as well. He's the complete package, and the Steelers know it. That's why they invested early in him, and they are thirsting and craving for a true workhorse running back that they haven't seen since Le'Veon Bell. Now, James Conner made the attempts to try to be that and could have been that based on the robust O-line they had a couple years ago, but Conner just couldn't stay healthy, right? And the O-line has obviously taken some hits now, but Najee Harris is a guy that can do it. I trust Big Ben. They've got enough wide receivers to spread that defense wide and open things up for Najee Harris. Super exciting, super talented, opportunity, volume, talent, youth, upside, the Cuddy system, consistency, upside, durability, depth, and youth. We don't have the consistency because he's a rookie, but we do have the upside. We do have the depth chart. He's high on the depth chart. We do have the durability, knock on wood, that he is young and healthy, and the why, Cuddy, youth, right? There's so much opportunity here for Najee Harris, and I'm going to try to get him as soon as I can. This guy can and will possibly surpass guys like Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cooks of the world. Yes, he can, because Dalvin Cook, I'm not sold on him staying healthy. I'm not sold on Alvin Kamara performing the same way that he did without Breeze. I'm seeing this guy surpass those guys. We know guys fall to injury, these top 5 guys. You know, CMC fell off. Saquon Barkley fell off last year. Dalvin Cook has fallen years before. These top running backs sometimes fall off. This is a guy that can emerge and easily slide into the top 3 position in regards to opportunity, volume, and fantasy points. Beyond excited. Boom potential written all over Najee Harris. All over it. I'm going to make sure I have him on my roster as soon as I possibly and humanly can in 2021 fantasy football drafts. Last one here. Boom potential. Yes, I know wide receivers are always scary. Who is the Justin Jefferson of this year? It's hard to tell. I don't feel that same type of feeling I had with Justin Jefferson with any of these wide receivers particularly, but if I was going to feel it, I do feel it with a couple a little bit. This is a guy, one of them I feel it with is Jamar Chase. Now, the upside here obviously is they've made improvements on the O-line with the Bengals. You know, Burrow's coming back off injury. Youth upside looked good prior to him going down. I don't think Boyd is the solution. Higgins has shown flashes, could be, but Jamar Chase, that connection with Burrow could be phenomenal again. I'm beyond excited about this. Jamar Chase, 2019 year, had a monster year with 1,700 receiving yards in college, 120, what do you have, 20 touchdowns? I got to pull this up here. But either way, Jamar Chase had, let me pull this up here. Jamar Chase, I lost his stats here. I know it was 1,700 yards. I'm trying to do everything to memory, and that's where you get in trouble, guys, okay? 1,780 yards, 20 touchdowns. That's what I was trying to find. Yeah, I mean, 84 receptions in 14 games. He didn't play in 2020, but listen, 2019, absolutely tore it up, you know, in LSU, crushed it, and he's a monster, man. Prototypical wide receiver, 6 foot, 201 pounds. First round pick, guys. First round pick, 5th overall. High draft capital, youth, upside. There is a boom potential written all over him. I'm excited about Jamar Chase. Phenomenal out of college. Again, 1,780 yards, 20 touchdowns in his 2019 year. Prototypical wide receiver. This guy could boom, okay? So that's it. Those are your top 10 boom players. And again, there's more. There's a ton of other boom players. You know, Zeke Elliott can come back and boom, coming off a bit of a low year last year, right? There's a ton more guys, obviously, but these guys really kind of popped out to me. There's a ton of other rookies that could boom. Michael Carter from the Jets. I can go into this all day, but you need to subscribe. That's why you need to subscribe and leave a thumbs up, okay, guys? And get the 16-round drafts, which is for everything in one spot. And I just wanted to have some fun here with you guys, give you guys some great value, some depth, some information. Top 10 boom players going into fantasy football 2021. Make sure you guys draft some of these players. Immense value on some of them a little more obvious, but a ton of upside. All right, guys? Subscribe, thumbs up. I am out, and get 16-round draft solution. We'll talk soon.